what's going on, Knicks Nation? I want to welcome you back to Knicks Daily, baby. I'm the host, Sheer, and I'm hyped, man. It is the end of the trade deadline, and guess what? Your New York Knicks, we won this thing. We absolutely won this thing. Everybody's going to have their own opinions. Everybody is chiming in, and once again, step by step, brick by brick, the New York Knicks have rebuilt their reputation. They've rebuilt this team. They're rebuilding the perception about the New York Knicks in the NBA. And I'm here for it. I'm 100% loving it. You know, so everybody had an opinion about who's going to be traded to the team. And damn, you know, ultimately what happened was all of our young kids got sent out, man. And I know everybody's in their fields, man. You know what? Part of this journey to turn this whole thing around in New York and get back to respectability was having to pick a direction and stick to it. And I understand everybody's feeling when RJ and IQ got traded and, you know, Obi got traded and then now Grimes got traded. We've developed connections with them because nobody else wanted to come to us. Nobody was seeing us. Nobody was looking for us. Nobody else wanted to come to us. So the only option that we had to do was draft players and try our best to develop them, stick with them, and hopefully we can turn them into, you know, pieces that could be cornerstones for our organization. But the other side of that is anytime you have a team that's drafting players, anytime you have a team that's really investing in the development. I mean, we went out and got one of the best developmental coaches from Utah. We went out and got the cap guard who can manipulate, you know, the salaries, and we make moves according to the salaries that not only help us be successful in the present, but also to give us flexibility to make moves and be successful in the future. So these are things that the New York Knicks really had to do, and you can't do it unless you have from top to bottom cohesion. Everybody's on the same page, but everybody has the talent and ability to do their jobs at a high level. This is ultimately what we see. You know, I know everybody is a little bit like, man, you know, I kind of feel bad because we don't got no more of the youth. Well, we don't have any more of our youth, but our team is in the same championship run window. You know, so we're in the same, and we're still relatively young with our best players being on the same championship trajectory. So, man, like, I'm hyped. What I'm even more so hyped about, y'all, look at the narratives in the league right now. So many narratives, all of the stars who dominated the back pages over the past 15, 20 years. They're at the points in their careers where majority of the time when they're headlining the back pages, it's about something negative. You know, LeBron has put his stamp on this league in a super positive way, but also in a negative way, man. How many of these stars who are walking on in his footsteps in terms of him being lead GM is what they call him? And then KD tried it, and Kyrie tried it and failed. You know, Trae Young tried it, got his coaches fired, failed. You know, Giannis tried it, you know, got him a chip out of it, but he tried it again, and it's not working. You know, so that era of the player having so much power where he could dictate the moves of the team and who gets placed around them, listen, those days are over because the New York Knicks are clearly showing that the way you do it is you hire people in those positions to do their job. And the moment you got to minimize the players being able to not focus on their jobs and focus on yours. Nah, that's not how it works. Organizationally, organizations that are run effectively, a player, no matter how high and how bright the star is, can't come in and be able to dictate personnel. What are you talking about? You know what I mean? So that player empowerment piece got to be put to rest. And the New York Knicks, although we were forced to do it this way because players not only control team moves, but they also control the narrative. And they put the narrative out there that you don't want to play in that spotlight in New York. They're not a competently run organization. All those days are over. And what the New York Knicks has done is they've shown how do you hire personnel? How do you keep cohesion? How do you develop a culture? How do you get players who fit your culture and fit the personality and develop an identity for your team? And how do you move fiscally responsible in an age where salary cap is through the roof? Salary cap is through the roof. Salaries are through the roof. So that's the piece that I'm most proud of. Not only are the moves that we're making on the court and that we're winning, we're playing winning basketball, but that we are making winning front office moves, and that on every front organizationally we are winning. We are winning. This is why, sometimes I see on Twitter whether or not we won the move. I appreciate Knicks fans, because I think we were clear enough, even if we didn't see after the first move, once we got Burke, everybody's just like, oh, they really don't move the needle. And then it came out that we got Bogdanovich. Let this front office work. Let them do their jobs. We can't be GM. I understand it's fun to try to predict the moves, but that ain't our job. You got to trust. This front office has earned the respect and the right to be able to make the moves, and for us to be able to trust that they're going to make the right moves for the organization now and into the future. And what they done did was messed up. And I'm talking about the league. The league is done messed up. And you messed around and let the New York Knicks get a competent organization. You done messed around and let Tom Thibodeau get players that he feels he can win a championship with. And you gave the front office personnel in there to be able to put those things together. Let's talk about the Detroit trade. Let's talk about having a consistent trade partner in the Detroit Pistons. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about the ability to make a trade with somebody perception-wise who was supposed to be the ops in Toronto. Let's talk about that. So anybody who talks about the New York Knicks and their relationships across the NBA, that's also a negative narrative. And how else do you know we're being successful? When all of those people who still had their footprints on our chest, who still had their knees on our neck for the last 25 years, they're saying it through gritted teeth.
Yeah, I guess the New York Knicks are doing things. They are moving in the right direction.
It kills them to say it. Kenny Smith can't even get his posture right when talking about the New York Knicks. Can't even get his posture right. Looking down and away. It's all on his energy. And I know I said it on Twitter. I was just like, yo, bro, I don't know how that interview process went, or if he felt he didn't get a good shot, a decent shot at the New York Knicks front office, at the New York Knicks coaching job. It seemed like he's super bitter about that. And the fact that the person that they did hire is having this level of success. And it just doesn't sit well with him, and you could tell. And then I also hate when the sports media, especially ESPN, we have no choice but to talk about them because they've cornered the market on the sports media. But how they always try to put fandom on one of their people, telling Kenny Smith, how about your New York Knicks? Ninja, that ain't the New York Knicks. He's a Houston Rocket from the jump. We don't claim nobody whose knees been like that.
The record. And rewind that.
We don't claim nobody whose knees been like that. Okay? He look like that man walking around here looking like a road runner, or an ostrich, or one of those birds where the knees go backwards. Come on, man. We don't claim him. He don't claim us. Stop putting that on him. Stephen A. Smith is a joke. He is a joke. Like he's getting his bread and butter is being overly animated about these New York Knicks and then criticizing them. New York Knicks fans, we got to stop buying into this stuff. We got to stop clicking on these videos that got these headlines. People who we know are going to hate on it. Richard Jefferson, all of that, yo. Only tune in to see their face in the uneasiness and the most unsettled way that they have to talk about us positively because we're doing well. So I'm just excited, man. I'm excited about bringing Burks back. Whenever, that was so critical for that man to be able to create his shot at his height, and his familiarity with Tibbs is a game changer. And I'll be the first to tell you, because I'm saying it. Now that we're winning and that we're consistent, everybody's trying to bring old Knicks back. And respectfully, because there's a lot of people who I follow on Twitter, and they follow me on Twitter as well. And I love it. But honestly, Carmelo Anthony don't deserve to be part of this team. He don't. He deserves to be, let him retire. Let him retire, man, because The truth is going to come out one day. He was responsible for planting the poison pill in Porzingis when he left out. And I know Phil was at the base of it. I know Phil did him dirty. I know Phil was a professional. You know what I mean? But Carmelo knew, look, the moment KP was just like, yo, that triangle worked for me. Yo, Carmelo Anthony threw a fit. And you doing that to your young player, the future of the franchise. You planting a poison pill in him. Come on, man, you don't do that. It was clear that he did that. It was clear that he was selfish. It was clear when Chauncey Billups said, you know, he'd be satisfied if he scored 35 and they lose, and if he scored 15 and then they won, he'd be mad. It was clear. And Carmelo Anthony was a selfish player. Come on, man. I'm saying it. He's a selfish player. Does he ride with the vibe of New York? Absolutely. Is he New York's? Yes. So no to Carmelo bringing them back. No to any of those players. Listen, we got rid of them for a reason. What's on them also is the stench of mediocrity. So leave Amari where he is. Amari did what he did. We love him. He's once a Knick, forever a Knick. Carmelo Anthony, he's once a Knick, forever a Knick. Leave them alone. They symbolize mediocrity. This is a new day. This is this group of players' time. I don't want nobody shining on Julius unless Julius gets shipped out. We bring in a Giannis. Outside of that, Julius was responsible for taking all of the slings and arrows and then fighting through it and getting to a time now where we're finding success. Let that man have that spotlight. Stop trying to bring people in who's going to take that sign away from him, or he feel he has to adjust when it's him and JB's show. How much work went into that relationship so that trust could be developed between the two of them? Come on, man. Stop trying to bring everybody to the party. Let them sit on the front row, celebrity row, and look at what it is that could have been for them had they decided to play as a unit. You let that sit. But other than that, man, I just want to hop on and just talk about how pleased I am, bro. I was just so pleased and excited. I didn't want to make a video. I just wanted to watch everybody's reactions at the moves that were made, man. The fact we didn't give up no first-round picks, man. Second-round picks, late second-round picks. The worst of the second-round picks we gave away. The fact that we go back as a continuous trade partner, a dance partner with the Detroit Pistons. Relationships are important. And we got two shooters. The biggest thing that's been our playoff kryptonite is when the defense tightens up and they shut down the interior. They shut down Julius as a bread and butter. What other option do we have? Now we got a point guard who can shoot from outside, who can break down the defense, who gets and ones, who takes charges, who's a bulldog, who's a superstar. Part of our Achilles heel was when we passed the ball out to RJ last year. He's missing, the easiest shot, the shortest three-pointer in the NBA. Or we get a high game from Emmanuel Quickly, or a low game from Emmanuel Quickly, and they're blowing by him. We got three-point snipers. We got DiVincenzo. We got Bojan Bogdanovic. We got Alec Burke now. We got Miles McBride. Come on, man. Anybody who's guarding us. So I appreciate, Scott Perry has been on his media tour, man. And I appreciate that because now he's just like, yo, everybody's talking about, and it's the media. Don't let the media infiltrate Knicks Nation, baby. On Twitter, man, we've already developed our atmosphere, our hemisphere. So don't let them come in and try to dictate what it is we do and don't do. Scott Perry keeping it real. He's just like, yo, everybody keep bringing up the superstar thing. First and foremost, do you not have two All-Stars? Just like the Lakers. Do you not have two All-Stars? Just like the Lakers. Do you not have a superstar on your team? What are we talking about? And the Detroit Pistons were able to put together a team that was grounded in defense first and have players who knew exactly their role and they played it to perfection. And they went up against the juggernaut in Shaquille O'Neal and Kobe Bryant and they came out victorious. He's just like, yo, listen, the blueprint is there. And the Knicks are designed similarly. So I just wanted to hop on, man, tell you that I love the trade deadline. F what anybody else says if they say the New York Knicks did not dominate this trade deadline. We kicked it off with OG Anunoby, shook the game up immediately, had returns. Then we, pieced this together. Yo, truth and respect and love and admiration to my guy Grime Time. I wish you nothing but the best, bro. You are a young star in my eyes. Just work to fill your potential, and you're going to have that avenue along with Kevin Knox out there in Detroit. So best of wishes for success for you, except against the New York Knicks. And man, listen, it's a great time to be a Knicks fan. It's a great time to be aligned and associated with the best team in New York sports right now. Enjoy it, Knicks fans. And keep this in mind, man. This is only the beginning. This is only the beginning. And here in Knicks Deli, everybody eats, and the New York Knicks are eating right now. All right? So keep grinding, Knicks fans. Let's get this win tonight. Peace.